This is a huge opportunity for me to be coming and meeting people and to be discovering what my fellow Africans are doing and to learn from them. And also for me, it's a huge opportunity to see by myself the big themes which we have been talking about in Africa, be it being a huge population which is reaching 1.4 billion persons, and to be having also the big sectors such as technology into Africa, to be learning from that. And of course, us being based in Mauritius, a small country with a big heart, but very open, like what the theme which I really love is that the African countries, the continent is open for business, and I say that Mauritius also is open for business, and the Credential Group also is open for business. So I would like to see how, first of all, we can bring business into Mauritius, and also how to see where we can take business from Mauritius into Africa, and why not from different African countries.
Wow, fantastic.
Our group, we service all the big players around the world. We are specialists, what we call the capital market segments. We are specialists in the country, and we deal with top players worldwide, be it from Asia, be it from Europe, be it from Africa, or be it from the Gulf. So basically today we are seeing also in terms of Africa Unleash, it's about what? It's about, we have been talking about this theme, I think, for many years. And I always joke, maybe I wasn't born and we were talking about it's the time for Africa, but really it's the time for Africa. And I think two elements which are very important for us to move forward, which we need to change is, first of all, it's about leadership. We need to have leaders who are ready to take the continent ahead. That's the first thing. And second thing, we need also to have leaders with a vision, which I think is very much lacking, because today we have leaders who are very much interested into getting power and staying in power. What happens besides that, I think it's not the concern of many leaders. So I think both leadership and vision is very important, and it's through leadership and vision which we're going to take the continent forward. And today, in terms of Africa, I see that we have lots of resources, and we have been kingmakers, and now it's time for us to become kings. And related to resources, so everybody's using our resources, and like we were talking about, all phones have something which is related to, for example, Congo, and they are taking our resources and putting it in phone. And now I think it's high time that we consider, we study all those resources and see how, since we are having those resources more than anybody else, and everybody else is using those resources, we need to see how we can dictate terms with regards to these resources. And it's very much possible. China has done it for many years, and today they control lots of resources, and they are able to say the terms, to dictate the terms to even to the US with regards to resources which they have in China. I think Africa also should adopt such a strategy where we should be able to dictate terms with regards to the resources we have. In terms of resources, for example, Nigeria is one of the top 10 oil producing reserves in the country, and you would ask yourself why Nigeria is not like Dubai, it's not like the UAE. So the reason, I think you would go on the internet, you can ask ChatGPT as well, maybe you'll get the answer. So the reason is obvious there. So we should go and study this, why we have the big oil producers, big oil reserves in the country, why we are not similar to the others. And you would go, if you go on the net, you would see the reasons why. And for me, two reasons, it's about vision and about leadership, where we're having big issues.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned earlier, Credentia, we are into technology. We are into the capital market segment. We are into Fintech. So this element is going to play a huge part in Africa. Today, if we see the international Fintech world, we see that the undisputed leader is China, where the position they've taken. And of course, the US is also there. US has always been a superpower in Fintech. If we're talking about Google, we're talking about Apple, we are talking about Amazon. So all this is coming. Facebook, of course, not to forget, is coming from the US. And then afterwards, you would see a TikTok being a world phenomenon. So you've got China and the US fighting for that place. And now I think Africa also has its share to in the fintech world. And if I look at Europe, they don't have their Facebook, they don't have their Google, and I would put ourselves, Africans, in the same segment as the Europeans, because they've been investing into technology. So if we are in the same segment, same level as the European, I think it's time for us also to consider how we can take. For me, the biggest case study is China, where they reach, where they've put 800 million people from poverty, has moved up the ladder, and how it has become a superpower. I think we can learn a lot from China, and Africa should learn from the case study, I would say, of China, and we should move ahead. I'm not saying that we don't have the knowledge to be moving on our own, but everybody learn from each other. You had different superpowers as we move on in terms of currency. For example, today the USD is the reserve currency, but before the USD, the British were there, the Dutch also were there, and at some point of time they moved aside, and the US came, and eventually we're going to see Chinese there. But for me, just to mention that the Credential Group is very happy to be bringing the fintech part, to be contributing and to bring that part, that knowledge which we have for Mauritius and for the African continent as well. In terms of business, we would like to be more into the African countries. We would like to do more business with other African countries. Like I mentioned, today our base clients are from the Gulf, from Asia and from Europe. We need to see more happening. We want to be more linked with African countries. And one good element, the work has already started. For example, we have very good relationship with the Afreximbank, the African Import-Export Bank, and during the session there we were talking about the Mansa platform. So we are very proud to say that we are the biggest contributor to the Mansa platform of the Afreximbank, where we do compliance for the platform. So I would like to see more of the Credentials Group involvement with the different African countries. We see Nigeria, for example, is a good example, where we want to have more to do with Nigeria. Botswana is there, and there are so many other countries also we would like to be linked to and do business with. I would like here to mention our flagship project, which we launched in this year. This year. It was launched on the Independence Day of Mauritius, which is the 12th of March. So we launched what we call the unique platform, which can be used also in Africa. The platform is doingbusinessinmauritius.com. So we have that. We are owner of that domain, doingbusinessinmauritius.com, and we launched that. And basically, whoever wants to do business in Mauritius, you want to live in Mauritius, you want to retire in Mauritius, you want to invest into Mauritius, you want to acquire property in Mauritius, you can use that platform. And this platform is linked to 11 other websites. For example, I'll just give a small brief of the website it is linked with. You want to have your permits in Mauritius. For example, we've got the occupation permits in Mauritius.com. You want to know about tax, we've got MauritiusTax.com. You want to know about BPO business, so we've got MauritiusBPO.com. If you want to know about banking, we've got banking in Mauritius.com. If you want to know about family office, what you could do in Mauritius, so you've got MauritiusFamilyOffice.com. So like this, we've got 11 websites, and that's, I think, the most innovative product which we have launched in the Mauritian market. And this, of course, could be extended elsewhere. For example, we have the domain of doingbusinessinSeychelles.com. So doing business in any African countries, this model could be replicated elsewhere, and we direct business towards one platform and make it more easier. Because today, if you want to do a business in any African countries, you have to go on Google, and you go on Google and you're going to see, you get information from one government body, you got another government body, you got a private company, you got another private company, and do those private companies provide a one-stop shop? No, I don't think so. So I think that's one of the most innovative product which we launched this year in Mauritius. Private sector is very, very important. I always believe that the government is here to bring rules, regulations, and we have to use those rules and regulations to create businesses. So the contribution of private sector is very important. The visionary people, we talk about visionary leaders previously. So in terms of businesses also, you need to have visionary people. So the private sector is and will continue to play a big part of it. The biggest part in terms of employment is through the private sector. So in terms of Credentia, of course, we are a private company, and we look forward to be collaborating with other private companies and, of course, the state to do business. And we are open as a private company. We are open for business with the African countries, African governments, and other private sector companies as well. No, definitely. I think we are based in Mauritius, and the next milestone, which is going to happen this year, is going to be opening our office in Dubai. And immediately after that, we're going to open an office in Seychelles as well. So discussions are already there. We've already incorporated a company in Seychelles. And Dubai, I'll be going to Dubai next month to be discussing with the authorities as well as the banks and some private parties with regards to setting up a company in there. And why in Dubai and not in African countries? We could ask that. Of course, Dubai is a hub. We like it or not, Dubai is a hub. And from Dubai, I would love to help the African continent and Mauritius also to get business from outside Africa and to bring those business. I think for us as a group, the Credential Group, the biggest milestone is to become international and to have office in Dubai, and Seychelles also is a very interesting part of our strategy. And the president of Seychelles was in our office this year and visited us, and we promised him that we need to further discuss collaborations. So in short, the next milestone is going to be opening ourselves for business outside Mauritius, outside Africa as well. I think we are open for business. Africa is open for business. I love this tagline. We are open for business, and I think I would also like to say that the perception we have on Africa, I think there's a wrong perception on Africa, depending on the type of media we are looking at. There's a type of media which I won't be knowing is always going to say bad things about Africa. So you should not be following that perception, that type of media. For example, lots of geopolitical issues are happening around the world. There's a type of media which is going to say things about these things which are happening. But if you dig into the reality, it's something else. We should also remove that perception. You should go and go into Africa with a clear mind. Things which have been were there maybe 40 or 50 years before. It's not present now. Africa is open for business, and today I think is the right time for all people, if you want to take advantage of the 1.4 billion people and coming to 2.8 billion eventually. You want to take advantage of that, where we see if we compare, for example, other nations where the population is declining. You want to take advantage of that, please come and invest into Africa. You want to take advantage of the Fintech environment we have. Of course, the African environment is not as advanced as the Chinese, I would say, or Asian, or I would say also the American, but we are there, and please come to us, and we are very happy to be moving ahead of the curve.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you very much. It's been awesome having you in this interview.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. And again, thank you very much for the African Leadership Organization for inviting us here in London. And we look forward for other events also of the organization and supporting the organization.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.